I was born in a small, grimy village where the air always smelled like smoke and burnt herbs. My father was a blacksmith. My mother stitched rags into clothing that barely kept the cold out. And somehow, between hammering and sewing, I got fascinated by shiny metals and mysterious powders. By the age of 10, I was sneaking into the local apothecary, smelling strange powders, mixing them in tiny flasks, and watching in awe as colors changed, sometimes exploding in my face. My mother never understood it. My father called it foolishness, but I just knew, I was destined for something greater. By 15, I had read every tattered manuscript I could find on alchemy. I memorized strange symbols and the weird instructions on turning base metals into gold. Everyone else saw me as a peculiar boy with soot-streaked fingers, but I thought I was on the verge of immortality. I left my village with a satchel full of herbs, minerals, and a notebook that I treasured more than my own life. Traveling from town to town, I offered my skills for a few coins. Most people either laughed at me or threw water on my experiments. But a few noblemen saw potential, or perhaps they just wanted to humiliate a fool. I worked in cramped, smoky labs where glassware exploded, fires started, and my clothes smelled perpetually like rotten eggs. I mixed mercury with lead, powdered bones with strange herbs, and stirred potions for days on end, always hoping for a miraculous transformation. Most nights, I slept in my cluttered workshop with vials and jars stacked precariously around me. One slip of the hand and the floor would be coated in a poisonous slurry. Or worse, a chemical fire could erupt that no bucket of water could quench. My fingers were stained permanently, my tongue sometimes numb from tasting suspicious elixirs I wasn't supposed to, my lungs filled with noxious smoke. I tried to make gold. I failed every single time. I tried to make an elixir of life. I failed every single time. I tried to impress kings, dukes, and scholars. Most just laughed. Some tried to poison me, thinking I was a witch or charlatan. And yet, stubborn as I was, I couldn't stop. The dream of greatness kept me awake, mixing powders at 3 in the morning, staring at flasks that promised immortality but delivered nothing but disappointment. Years passed. I watched apprentices come and go, some smarter, some luckier, but all eventually leaving with stained coats and bitter hearts. My hair turned gray, my back bent from endless nights hunched over furnaces and alembics. I got sick from inhaling fumes, burned from small explosions, poisoned by my own miscalculations. My hands trembled too much to grind powders perfectly. My eyes could barely focus on the symbols I once loved. And then the final humiliation. I died not in a blaze of glory or surrounded by gold, but quietly in my lab alone, a cracked flask spilling a greenish liquid across my table, a faint smell of sulfur in the air. No riches, no elixirs, no fame. Just a life of endless toil, failure, and the faint hope that maybe, just maybe, my next experiment would work. But it never did. Being a medieval alchemist isn't mysterious or magical. It's cold, lonely, and dangerous. It's a life of chasing impossible dreams while your body and mind slowly betray you. And yet somehow I wouldn't have had it any other way. Because for a brief, foolish, and utterly hopeless moment, I believed I could touch the divine with nothing but powders, fire, and ambition. If you ever think being an alchemist would be cool, remember me. Remember the burns, the poison, the failures, the loneliness. Remember that dreams don't always turn into gold, and that sometimes chasing the impossible is its own kind of curse.